Toastmaster, Toastmaster Luisa, who is a world champion of public speaker for year 2024. Toastmaster Luisa was born and raised in South Texas. She later moved to Austin, Texas, where she worked at Abbott Laboratories for 25 years before retiring at the age of 53. For the last 8 years, Toastmaster Luisa has been busy recusing, fostering, and transporting homeless dogs all over the United States. She has fostered and cared for over 1,000 homeless dogs. Toastmaster Luisa joined Toastmaster International in 1989 for 3 years and then rejoined after in year 2023. In 2019, she competed in the international speech contest against participants from over 143 countries, where she was placed second in the world. She competed again in year 2024 and I was, yeehaw! Yes, that's what we will do. And she did competed again in 2024 and I was witness to she grabbing the first place and becoming the world championship.
So,
Her speech was Toastmaster Priya, if I can ask you to mute yourself. She placed first in the world in 2024 and she is the first Hispanic to achieve the first place. So many first for our Toastmaster Luisa, and today we are fortunate here to listen from her about the road to the championship. She is currently working on starting a free spay or neuter clinic for homeless dogs. She loves saving animals, giving inspiring speeches. Yes, we are witness to that, and making friends all along the way. And today she is here to make friends in District 125. So don't forget to send her LinkedIn request and be friends. She is very active and she will definitely respond to your pings and chats. She is striving to make her mother proud. I think that's the best life mission that anyone can ask for. Please join me with a thunderous round of applause. Toastmaster Luisa Montalvo, World Champion of Public Speaking 2024.
Thank you so much, District 125, for this invitation. It's 8:30 in the morning here on Friday, and I believe it's evening for you there. So excellent. Hopefully you had a great day and you're ready to settle down and maybe have dinner or watch Netflix or something. But here we are, gathered together. Again, thank you so much for this invitation. As most of you know, we are now getting ready, or the districts, actually the areas and clubs, are getting ready for what comes around every year, and that's contest. And the WCPS contest is about to starting at the very beginning with your club. So some of you may not even want to enter a contest. I mean, why? Why enter a contest? You don't want to do that. You want to do leadership or you want to do gavel masters, but anything but a contest. And I think I know why maybe some of us don't want to enter a contest. And that's because if we do, we might lose. And nobody wants to lose. Everybody wants to win, of course. So you ask yourself, do I want to be subjected to that? No, a lot of us don't. But for those of you that may be adventurous and want to break out of the box, break out of your shell, expand your horizons, join the contest. What's the worst that could happen? I have a friend of mine who was in a contest and he was so happy he came in second place. And I said, Frank, There were only 2 of you competing. He said, that's beside the point. I came in second. Point taken. He was so happy to have entered the contest. He said he learned a lot about it. And actually, what a contest does, it helps you realize whether you're contest material. You see, a lot of us will go enter a contest, and then once we're in the contest, we get nervous. We don't know what to talk about. We're not sure if our speech is good enough. And then there's evaluations, and then there's the chance of you losing. Well, yes, absolutely. But you know what a contest does for me? It prepares me for life, because not everything is going to go the way I want it to go. I'm not going to wake up every morning and win every day. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be adjustments that you need to make. And it's the same with a speech. It's the same with a contest. So for me, it was a good lesson. And some of you say, well, you know what, Luisa, I want to do this, but I mean, how long is it going to take me to win #1 in the world? Well, do I have a story for you? My journey took me 11 years. But see, that's it. With a contest, you have to ask yourself, and not just with a contest, with anything in your life, how much time are you willing to dedicate to this? And how serious are you about it? Oh, Luisa, I just want to do like maybe one contest. Okay, do one contest. You've already answered the question. Now, if you're a little insane like me and you want to say, hey, I am going to go to the top, I'm going to make it to the final stage, I'm going to be the best in the world. Okay, you answered your question. It might take you 11 years. Now, get this. When I was in Anaheim in August, there was one lady that was there. You know how long she'd been in Toastmasters? She hadn't been in Toastmasters more than 2 years, and she already made it to the final stage. Wow. I mean, that's insane. Here, I've been working at this for 11 years. Okay, so how do you write a speech, Luisa? How do you make a good speech? The answer is very easy, believe it or not. You need to talk about something that everyone is going to be interested in. How easy is that? It's not. Trust me. So, how do you get a good idea? I want to tell you that probably the best speeches that were written and executed were speeches about someone going through something. Now, the part that's hard is sharing what you want the audience to know that you never thought you would tell anybody in your life. It's had to be something personal, because with something personal, believe it or not, there are other people in the audience that have gone through almost the same thing you have, but they need to hear you say it. For example, in my speech, there was one thing that I admitted that I never thought I would admit to anybody. And that is that my father, when he was raising us, my mom and dad, my father did not like to see any of us cry. I mean, we could have a broken arm, we could have fallen down, we could have something, but you don't cry. You don't cry because crying was a form or a sign of weakness, and he didn't want to see that. So when I was on stage, I actually admitted to 1,700 people that even though my father said quitters cry, I started to cry. And that was something I never thought I would say out loud. But with that, the audience was able to relate to me, because maybe there was something that they were told they should never do, and yet they had done it. So that is what, to me, makes the winning speech, is sharing parts of your life that you never thought you would be able to share with anyone, and here, putting it out for the whole world to hear. Well, Luisa, I had something really terrible happen to me. Okay, wait a minute. How you say it makes all the difference in the world. You cannot, one, attack your audience. You can't say, well, you know, when you do this and you do that. No, 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 no. You don't want to offend your audience. You want your audience to have empathy with what you're going to say. So how do you do that? I have learned with me, I like to add humor to a speech, and sometimes it has to be self. I'm sorry. Sometimes the humor that I use is self-deprecating. In other words, I attack myself. And it's okay to do that because your audience is now empathetic towards you. You don't want to attack your audience. You can say stuff about yourself and something personal, something you really didn't want to share. And it's the style and form in which you are going to say it that is going to make you stand out from everybody else. Well, I don't know what to talk about, Luisa. Here's the clue. Here's the key. I have my phone. There's a little button there that says voice memo. In other words, I can record anything I want to. So the other day, I was out driving around and this guy cuts me off in traffic. I was so mad. There you go. That emotion of being upset or angry. I grabbed my phone. I said, you know what, Luisa? You need to give a speech about when this guy cut you off in traffic and what was wrong with him. And he needs to watch what he's doing. Okay, we're going to talk about that later. And you turn it off and put your phone down. You go through the rest of the day, maybe the next day, something else happens. Maybe you go out again and somebody else cuts you off in traffic and you get upset. Grab your phone. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Why is this happening to me? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so any kind of emotion that you're going through, record it and then put your phone down. And it can be a 10-second recording or a 20-second recording about how you are feeling at that moment. At the end of the week or at the end of 2 weeks, you go back to your phone, you start listening to all your recordings. You start writing them down, the emotions you went through. Maybe you realize after a few days, well, maybe you were the one that was driving on the wrong lane. Maybe it was your fault why they were honking at you or cutting you off in traffic. So with all these little recordings that you've made through the week or the last 2 weeks or the month, now you're starting to get an idea of what you want to talk about in your speech. You write everything down, you get your little outline, and with each little thing that you had put down as a recording, expand on it. Write a little more about it, how you really felt. How did you face the challenge of getting over that emotion? And if it happened again, how did you react the second time? To me, that is the way to write a speech. Because you know what? If you go to a Toastmaster meeting and they say, oh, you know what, next week, you need to give a speech. Oh, I do? I need to? As soon as somebody says you have to or you need to, guess what? You don't want to do it. I remember as a kid, I'd be in my room and I would be getting ready to clean my room, and my mom would walk in and say, Luisa, you need to clean your room today. And I'm like, I need to? Now I don't want to do it. I was going to do it before you said something. But now that you told me I need to do it, I don't want to do it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know if you feel the same way. But what you can do is take all these ideas, start writing them down. Some of them aren't going to make any sense. Some aren't. So, okay, you've got your speech. You've kind of got an outline. What do you do now? I want to express just how important it is, especially if it's a contest speech, it's going to have to be 5 to 7 minutes long. Oh, okay. So I can write a speech for 7 minutes long? No. You write the speech for 6 minutes. Why just 6 minutes, Luisa? That leaves an hour, that leaves a minute and a half. For those of you that don't know, this last year, 2024 in Anaheim, out of the 8 contestants that were competing, did you know that 3 of them were disqualified? Can you imagine working for something or on something for 6 months to 8 months to almost a year, making it to the finals, and then getting disqualified. 2 of them were for time. They spoke for 7 minutes and 32 seconds. So they went 2 seconds over time. Why? Because their speeches had to have been 6.5 or 7 minutes long. Well, how did they go over time? The audience was laughing or showing emotion, and you have to read your audience. When your audience is laughing really loud, you can't keep talking. So you have to wait, you have to pause. And that's what cost 2 of the speakers the chance to move on, to actually win it, because they were disqualified. So please, very important, write your speech for 6 minutes. This will help you, trust me. The other one that was disqualified, this is something that maybe some of you, if you're competing, you don't know. Oh, you want to sing a part of a song, or you want to read part of a book, or you are about to quote someone. You need to acknowledge where you got that quote, or that song, or that lyric, or that part of that phrase. You need to acknowledge it. If somebody says something or sings something by a group, you need to mention the name of the group in your speech. The one person didn't, and she was disqualified. So out of 8 people that have worked for almost a year to get to the stage, 3 of them were disqualified. Please remember, if you can, look at your rule book, see what the rules are, so that way all your hard work and time does not go wasted. Okay, so you've got your speech, you kind of have an idea. What next? You've written it out. Maybe it was 10 minutes long. Here's something that I think is very, very important in writing a speech. You can always say something such as, well, I woke up in the morning and I wanted to think of something to do. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go play golf today. What's wrong with that? Let me tell you. All that first part, I woke up in the morning, wanted something to do. The audience doesn't need to know that. I got up, I'm going to go play golf. You see, do not make or use too many words that you don't need to. Take a sentence and try to compact it into what is really important. Don't use too many filler words. The audience is listening. Now, the first 30 seconds of your speech has to be something that's going to grab the attention of your audience. Did you know that if you don't have your audience listening in the first 30 seconds, chances are they might not listen to the rest of it. They might get on their phone. They might start thinking about other things. So those first 30 seconds are so very powerful for the success of your speech. Well, Luisa, what do I do? I have no idea. But whatever you do, you need to make sure you're going to get your audience's attention. Do something different. Do something wow. Be creative. This is what separates the speakers that you see every day to the speakers that you remember. I have to share a quick story with you. There's a couple in Toastmasters International, and I believe their last name is Storkey. Great couple, really friendly, really nice. I want to say they're from Australia. Back in 1990, the first time I joined Toastmasters for 3 years, I competed because, quite honestly, that's the only reason I joined Toastmasters, because I love to compete. That's all I wanted to do. I gave a speech. It was a humorous speech. I entered the contest, and I went back then. In 1990, you could go all the way to regional with humorous. I went to regional. It was in Denver, Colorado, and the Storkeys were in the audience. They heard my speech. After I left Toastmasters, the place where I worked, Abbott Laboratories, no longer had Toastmasters, and I should have probably joined another Toastmaster club, but I didn't. I waited almost 15 years to join again. So glad I did. So 20 years later, I'm competing again, and I get on stage, I give my speech, I walk off, And who's there in the audience? The Storkies. The wife comes up to me and tells me, Luisa, I still remember that speech you gave almost 20 years ago about when your mom would put you in those pink, itchy dresses when you were a little girl. Wait, what? You remember something I said 20 years ago? That's the kind of impact you want your speech to have. Don't get me wrong. It's great when you win a trophy, but the real trophy is in the fact that you motivated your audience, that you said something they remembered 20 years later. Wow, that I could not believe that when she told me that. It made me feel great. That's the impression you want to make whenever you give a speech. What you're going to say, will anybody remember it? And that's just it. Luisa, how do I make people remember what I say? It's your message. You have to have a message. If you get up there and talk just to talk, who's going to remember that? Probably very few people. So whatever you're saying, make it be a message. Well, how do you make it be a message, Luisa? Goes back to the emotions that you go through every single day. When you're happy, why are you happy? Share it, write it down, make a speech about it. When you're sad, what made you sad? Write it down. And this is probably the hardest part, is reaching inside of you and asking yourself, why am I feeling like this? I recently lost two very important people in my life. And to tell you the truth, the night before I was supposed to get on the airplane to fly to Anaheim to compete in the semifinals, I didn't want to go. Why was I going to go? The two most important people in my life had passed away. Who was I going to impress? Who was I going to make proud? I was in my car in front of my house, and it was the night before, and I had just convinced myself, after having my little breakdown of crying. Sorry, Dad, I was crying. I'll admit it. And I get a text from Jeff Stein, a fellow Toastmaster in Chicago. And he sent me a little meme, and it said, "You never know who you're inspiring. Don't give up." What? You never know who you're inspiring. Don't give up. I got on the phone and I called him. I said, Jeff. He said, hey, Luisa, how are you doing? Are you all packed, ready to go compete? I said, Jeff, I hate you. He said, you hate me? I just sent you a little meme about don't giving up. About not giving up. I said, yes, Jeff, I know. I was just about to convince myself not to go compete. And then you send me that. And he said, Luisa, this is your year. Now, why hadn't I told myself that? Because we don't. We don't encourage ourselves. We'll encourage everybody else, but we don't encourage ourselves. Okay, Jeff. So the next morning, I got on the plane, went to Anaheim, made it through the semis, went to the finals, and won first in the world. I mean, I had been telling myself I was going to win. I had been telling everybody else I was going to win, but I didn't believe it. In fact, when they announced my name, I still didn't believe it. Luisa, how do you write that winning speech? Let me tell you this. Over the last 13 years that I competed, I have lost over 40 contests. 40 times I didn't place. I didn't win. But I asked myself, how serious are you about this? And this isn't just about a contest. It can be about losing weight. It can be about the perfect relationship, about your family, about your job, about getting the car you want or the house you want. Ask yourself, how serious are you about this? I knew I was serious. I knew that it didn't matter how many times I lost, I was going to keep going back and keep trying. In fact, really, to be honest with you, maybe they just gave me the trophy because they were tired of seeing me compete and they felt sorry for me. Just give her the trophy. Ask yourself how serious you are about whatever you're going to do. And that's your answer. And let's say you're not trying to win first place in the world, or you're not even trying to win area. Do the contest anyway. It's so much fun. You know why I did the contest some of the times? Because if you don't do a contest, guess what? Then the president asks you, can you be the timer? Can you be the sergeant at arms? Can you do this for the contest? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm competing. Okay, don't tell anybody I told you that, okay? But anyway, do the contest. I think it's going to help you find out about things you didn't know about yourself. Not only that, it's like it's a competition. Now, here's another thing. I have a 94-year-old mentor, Phyllis Allen. In fact, I just had breakfast with her at Denny's yesterday. Great lady. She has been in Toastmasters 47 years. 47 years in Toastmasters because she was terrified of public speaking. I have never been afraid of public speaking. I absolutely love it. But I remember the 7th year of trying to win a contest. I just wanted to win district. That's all I wanted to do. So in 2019, my 7th year of competing, of trying to make it to district, Phyllis Allen told me, you know why you're not winning, Luisa? Wait, what? You've known for 7 years why I'm not winning, and you're just now telling me? She said, Luisa, you're not having fun. Having fun? Phyllis, I'm competitive. This is a contest, not a con fun. It's a contest. They're testing me to see how good I am. She goes, Luisa, you get up on stage. You look so serious. You don't even want to talk to anybody before the contest. You're just not having fun. I'm just telling you, go have fun. So should I listen to somebody that's been in Toastmasters for 47 years? Yes. So I listened to her. So in 2019, I went and got on stage and I had fun. And I think it was probably the first time in 7 years that I was having fun. But why was I having fun? Because I told myself, this is the last year I'm going to do this. If I win, I win. If I don't place, I don't place. But I made it to the finals. Wow. Maybe Phyllis was right. Not only did I make it to the finals in 2019, I came in second. Wow. And that's because I started having fun. Now, this is what I don't get, because if you ask any of my friends, anybody that knows me, they're like, hey, who's the number one person that always wants to have fun? Oh, that's Luisa. Oh, yeah. Hey, let's go do this. Let's go. Let's try this. Let's try it. That was always me. But when it came to contest, I was just so serious about it. I didn't realize I could have been having fun that whole time. So for some of you that don't know, when I placed 2019, I questioned my God. I said, God, you know I wanted to win. I mean, I was having fun, but I wanted to win, and I didn't win first place. Why not? Why not? You knew I wanted that. I got my answer a few months later. Anybody remember what happened at the end of 2019 and 2020? COVID? Did you know that Aaron Beverly had been invited Now, Erin Beverly won first place in 2019, and I came in second. Erin Beverly had been asked to travel the world, to go to all these beautiful countries and places and be the keynote for their district conferences. But because of COVID, nobody traveled anywhere. I only got to go to one place, and that was Puebla, Mexico. I went, I did my keynote there in November, right before COVID, right before everything shut down. I got on stage. I gave a keynote in Spanish. Oh my gosh, my Spanish is horrible. But after I gave my keynote, I got a standing ovation. Everybody was clapping, and I thought, I know I made a lot of mistakes. Why are they giving me a standing ovation? And when I got down from the stage, there was a line of people wanting to take pictures and say hi to me. And one lady told me it was the fact that you made an effort to connect with the audience. I said, so my Spanish was bad? And she said, yes, it was bad. Of course it was. I knew it was, but it was the fact that I tried to connect with the audience. And that's probably the most important thing I can tell you when it comes to giving the perfect speech. At that conference, one of the ladies, her name is Urim Dominguez. We took a picture, we hugged. She said, Luisa, congratulations. You're the first Hispanic to make it to that level. Second in the world. Really? I'm the first Hispanic to do that? She said, yes. I said, wow. I went to go talk to the next person in line. And then she said, Luisa. And I said, yes. She says, good luck on trying to make it to be number one. Wait, what? You're not happy with second place? I'm happy with second place. I have to do this another 7 years. Are you kidding me? Come on. I mean, second place, that's good, right? She said, Luisa, if anybody can make it to first place, it's you. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? So here I go, starting all over again, thinking I was finished, thinking I could go on and do something else. But a complete stranger came up to me and said, I believe in you. Okay, so let's try. 2020 was COVID and Zoom. I was not going to compete on Zoom. Why? Because it was something totally different to me, totally new. And with Zoom, I can't get the audience's feedback. I don't know if they're laughing. I don't know if they're on their phone. I don't know what they're doing. I don't even know if they're listening. So Zoom, I was not going to try to compete. And I didn't. 2021, I competed. No good. Didn't make it to district. 2022, I was in an accident. I'm still in a wheelchair. I thought, in fact, competing 2022, it was the area contest, and that was the day that I had the accident. So a week later, my district governor calls me and says, Luisa, we missed you at the contest. And I said, you know, I was in a coma and I couldn't remember my lines. Sorry, I couldn't compete. And you know what she told me? She goes, oh, now I've heard every excuse. So I didn't compete 2022. 2023, I lost my life partner of 24 years. So I didn't feel like doing anything that year. And 2024, 6 weeks before the contest, my mother passed away. And I really didn't want to compete. I didn't want to do anything. But you know what has become so valuable to me, and I hope you feel the same way, is my Toastmaster family. Because I was going through so much the last few years, and it was actually Toastmasters and all the members that got me through everything I was going through. I know I didn't want to go to any Toastmaster meetings when my mother passed away. And my best friend, my mentor, Phyllis Allen, Luisa, you need to come to the meeting. Okay. I would show up to the meeting, and for an hour and a half, I would forget about everything that was going on in my life that I felt was wrong. I would have fun. I would do a table topic. I would be the grammarian. It's just, to me, so amazing that this organization has done so much for me. So I feel I have the need or the responsibility to give back. So when anyone from a club or a district or a division, it doesn't matter. When anyone Toastmasters calls me, emails me, sends me a message, can you speak at our club? The club could have 10 members, and I'll say yes, because I feel I owe it to Toastmasters for every single thing that Toastmasters has helped me get through, for everything it's taught me. I feel I have a sense of responsibility to be able to help or inspire.
Looks like we have some connection issue. Let's give some moments for our champion to come back to the stage. Meanwhile, I will request everyone to switch on camera so that we can take a group photo. Thank you, Pratusha. Thank you, DTM Nancy. Thank you, Mayur. Thank you, Sarosh, Pushkar, Mayur, Aswan. Okay. Okay. So, Rabin, let's use this time. So, please, and hold your smile. I'm gonna move to next page. So we have Alex, Rama, Samit, Prerna. Some of you are still offline. If you switch on your camera, it will be a great addition to the attention. Okay. Okay, I can see Sushil is traveling TTC 5 and still attending the meeting. I love the enthusiasm, Sushil. Rishikesh, Mayur, Parag has joined. Parag is a guest and he expressed his willingness to join the session and he had joined with his son. Carol is traveling and still enjoying this session. I think that's great. Saili, Rohini. Maybe I will take one more photo because we have new set of people. And meanwhile, let me check with our champion. Let's give her maybe 1 minute or so to join back. I'll ask you to unmute and tell your experience so far. Let's engage. You can unmute yourself and tell us how the session is going so far, or what question you intend to ask. Maybe you can put it in chat so that we can compile and ask it later. Or yes, Rabin, DTM Rabin.
Yeah, so I was just in an XCOM meeting
Okay,
just before
good.
the session started, and I told XCOM that I want to wrap up this meeting so that I can attend this session. So on my way back from Vaishali to home, I was listening, and now also when I was eating dinner, I was listening, and it was worth every minute, every second, every microsecond.
Great. Thank you, DTM Rabin.
And thank you very much, District 125, for organizing this session.
Happy.
Hello?
Yes, you are back, Toastmaster Luisa.
I am so sorry. I do not know what happened. It might have been a connection issue on my side. I apologize for that.
No,
Thank you so much for still being here. I probably would have left. Oh, she's gone. Okay, I can go do something else. I just wanted to let you know, and I know I've got just a few minutes left, and then you wanted to have a Q&A. So I just wanted to finish about the fear of public speaking and how somebody would rather be in the coffin than have to give the eulogy. It's such a fear for everyone. And I tried to tell this to everybody out there. If you're a parent, even a grandparent, my mother put me in front of an audience when I was 10 years old. And so that is why I now have no fear of public speaking. So if you're a parent or a grandparent, take your child, and as soon as you have the ability to put them in front of an audience, do that, because you will help them conquer the number one fear in the world. Put them in front of an audience. They'll be able to speak up for themselves when they need to. It'll be a lesson they'll take for the rest of their life. And you just might be raising a world champion public speaker. You never know. I commend anybody and everybody who has joined Toastmasters, and ask yourself, why did you join? You've already done the hardest part. The hardest part was joining. Now, do you know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid of the water. You won't see me signing up for swimming lessons. You won't see me buying a boat. Nothing with the water, because I'm scared of drowning. But look at you. Here you have a fear of public speaking, and you've signed up. You have gone and said, you know what? This is the year, this is the time that I'm going to go outside the box. I'm going to improve myself. I'm going to better myself, and I'm going to be comfortable with public speaking. I can tell you right now, you might not think it, but I am nervous. You see that nervousness, those butterflies when you're going to speak, that never goes away. But guess what? With Toastmasters, you learn to control it. You learn to get used to it. You know what? If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Keep going. Keep going. You know, it's kind of like that diet. You know, you tell yourself, oh, well, at least I tell myself, Luisa, this year you're going to lose weight. And I try. And then you know what? The next thing I know, I'm at Taco Bell and I'm ordering an extra taco. And I'm like, but guess what? I eat the taco, I drink the soda, and then I tell myself, okay, next time, Luisa, you're going to do better. And it's okay. The thing is not to give up on yourself. I was thinking about something this morning, and I love having my phone around, because instead of saying, oh, sitting down and having to write something, whenever I think of something, I just grab my phone, I go and I do this. And I've been invited to speak at a conference. And somebody said, okay, we just want you to motivate the audience. Okay, well, how do I do that? How do you motivate an audience? And I came up with this, and I wrote it down today. And you tell me what you think about it. If I'm trying to motivate you, look, don't try to impress me with what you're going to do. Impress yourself. Don't change for me. Change for you. And Toastmasters is what's going to be able to help you do that. If you would have told me 11 years ago that, hey, Luisa, maybe one day you're going to win the world champion, I would have laughed. In fact, I'm kind of still laughing because I don't believe it actually happened. Now you're going to compete. Go do your club contest. Maybe you make it to area. Maybe you don't. But at least you tried it. And listen to me when I say this. You're not always going to win, even though you know you have the perfect speech. Do you know how many times I knew I had the winning speech and I didn't win? But do you know why I didn't win? There's 4 things you need to do to win, and I'll tell you what they are. You need to say the right thing at the right time on the right day to the right judges. How easy is that? You need to say the right thing at the right time on the right day to the right judges. That's all it is. So many times people came up to me and said, Luisa, you should have won. And I would tell them, hey, You should have been a judge. It's that easy. You will have the perfect speech and you will not win. And that's okay because that's life. That's all a contest is doing, is preparing you for what's going to happen in life. You were supposed to get that job and you didn't. That relationship was supposed to work and it didn't. That anything in your life, that diet was supposed to work and it didn't. Contest is just getting you ready for the rest of life. I want everyone to know that people are now telling me, Luisa, you've made it to the top. And when somebody says you've made it to the top, what do you think of? Do you think of the top of a mountain? Because that's what most people think of. That's not how I see it. Let me share how I see it. It's a plateau. A plateau is a flat surface. Well, why a plateau, Luisa? I thought you made it to the top, being number one in the world. A plateau is because I'm not the only one that's on top. There's a lot of other people that have made it to the top. So all these people are on this plateau with me. And so many of them have turned around, looked down, and helped me up. And now that I'm here on this plateau, I want to turn around and look around and help anybody who wants to make it here. That's how I see it. And you know what? I've reached this plateau, but now I need to go help the dogs, the homeless dogs. So that's another plateau I'm going to have to achieve. And oh, look over here, I need to lose weight. That's another plateau that I'm going to have to hit. I'm here to help anybody that wants or needs my help. Because to me, that's what Toastmasters is all about. We're a big family. We're a community. I love this organization so much. I feel I have the responsibility to represent it the best I can. So contest season is coming up. If get this, if everybody joins the contest, how awesome would that be? Don't impress me, go impress yourself. Don't change for me, change for you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Luisa, for such an inspiring speech. And now we will take few questions from the audience. I'll request the audience to first raise their hand and then when called, unmute themselves. Yes, we can give thunderous round of applause to our champion.
Thank you.
Okay. Any question we have, anything that you want to take away from the speech?
I did see somebody asked for contact details. My email, if you want to share it, or if somebody wants to put it on the chat.
Okay.
It's my last name, Montalvo dot Luisa, my first name, at yahoo.com. I'm also on LinkedIn, on Facebook. What else? Oh, TikTok. Oh my gosh, I love TikTok. But that's not really a communication thing. That's crazy time. LinkedIn, Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, email. Get a hold of me. And I will be honest with you, I'm terrible at checking my emails. So if I don't respond to you in 3 or 4 days, email me again. I have no problem with that. Okay. I'm sorry. I am my own secretary and I'm also retired. So it's trying to get me to work it's crazy.
Okay. We have a question. Harsh, yes, please go ahead.
Hello, just want to
Yes,
check,
sir.
am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so first of all, hello, ma'am. My name is Harshit, and so basically, my question is, what is it that extra thing that you do to be a champion? I'll tell you, last year I went to district finals in evaluation, or I didn't win. This year also I'm competing in district finals for evaluation. I just want to know what is it that one thing that we need to remember that we need to put extra to stand out.
That's a great question. I think the answer is you need to be different. Don't be like everybody else. Don't get up there and say, have you ever had, don't start your speech with a question. Everybody does that. Do something different. Impress yourself. Think outside the box. It's got to be something that nobody's seen before. Because I think I expressed this. You want people to remember what you said more than wanting a trophy. And hey, you competed. Good for you. Even if you didn't place, that doesn't mean you weren't any good. That means you didn't say the right thing at the right time on the right day to the right judges. That's all that meant. You could have actually been the winner. You just didn't win that day. I hope you continue competing, but anytime you do compete, try to be different. Try to stand out. Think outside the box. Do something that nobody's ever done before. That way they remember you, and maybe the next time you compete, you'll win. Maybe.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Toastmaster Rama.
Hi, good morning, ma'am. My name is Rama. I'm very new to this Toastmaster events. I recently took the membership of Toastmasters. I'm about to give my icebreaker speech. I just want your suggestion, ma'am.
Well, very good. Congratulations. I'm glad
Thank
you
you.
joined.
Yeah.
Are you going to compete?
No, ma'am. First, I just wanted to break the ice. Yeah.
Break the ice. Break the ice. Good
Yeah.
luck. Good luck, Rama. Good luck.
Okay. Toastmaster Mayur has next question.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Luisa. Good morning.
Hello,
So,
hello. Good
my
morning.
name is Toastmaster Mayur, and the question I have for you is there a word per minute kind of formula or calculation that you follow while preparing your speech, that your speech should be delivering 70 words per minute or something around that, just to make sure that you are right on the time with your content?
Great question. I don't do that. I do try to, I usually start with a 15-minute speech, then try to take it down to 10 minutes, then try to take it down to 6 minutes, because any little thing that the audience really doesn't need to know shouldn't be in the speech. They don't need to know what you were wearing. They don't need to know that you woke up. All that stuff. Whatever it is you're going to say, make it powerful and impactful. I do try to keep my speech to 6 minutes, not to go over time. And I don't know what that comes to in how many words that is, or how many. I know it takes me about 5 handwritten pages is usually what I start with, and then I break it down. But that's handwritten. I have terrible handwriting, but nonetheless, it's 5 pages. And from there, take what's important. I do know when I was competing that I went down and I was so competitive and so focused. I actually got to where I was counting the syllables. Syllables. Okay, that's 3. Can you say it any shorter than 3 syllables? That's how competitive I was. Try to keep it to 6 minutes, please, because I would hate for you to go and spend all this time and energy on a speech, and it's a good speech, and then you get disqualified where you could have won. So very important. Please try to keep it at 6 minutes. I wish you good luck.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. And our next question is from Pratyusha.
Hello, good morning, Luisa.
Hello, good morning.
Nice to see you. Thank you so much for your valuable time. You have been an inspiration to me, not just for the World Championship, but also as a personality. What I could see from what you're saying, or what I don't know. I could see through a soul. I could say I could connect to you the way you are helping dogs, or the way you told about the journey so far. It's quite inspiring. I'm a mom of 2 toddlers, but then the energy you've given me today is like I am ready to take another sprint or even a marathon. Thank you so much. And I
Yes,
have a
yes.
question.
And take your children and put them in front of an audience when you can, okay?
Thank you
Inspire
so
them.
much.
No, thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. And I have a question. How long do you take to finalize your draft? Because for me, when I'm preparing for my speeches, I'm doing my level 2. I'm a new Toastmaster. I always see that there is a scope to improvise further. The way you started recording the audios, right? You get the ideas from the things happening. That it strikes in my mind that I can put this in the speech that I'm currently working on, but then it has to end somewhere. And when do you stop drafting it? How long do you take to finalize your draft? And when do you actually stop and then fully prepare it? Like solidifying or hardwiring it.
That's a great question. And my answer is going to have two different answers. Just so you know, when I was competing in Anaheim that morning, the day of competition, I was still editing and making changes because I
Okay.
was so nervous. I wanted it to be perfect. If you're
Okay.
presenting to a club and you want to have it almost memorized where you're not using notes, which is good, maybe a week before, just say, okay, this is it. I'm done. Start memorizing, start getting it together, start the outline going in your mind. That way, when you present, you've already had like a week of practicing it to where it flows smoothly, where you're not, oh, wait, did I change something? Try not to change last minute if you're presenting to a club. When it's a contest, I can't tell you what to do because you know best on what to do. I was making last minute changes. So again, presenting to a club or somewhere else, try to cut it off a week before and say, this is it. This was what I'm going with.
That was helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. Have
Pratisha.
a good.
Ria, please ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, Luisa. Thank you so much. I have one question. So you said about the 4 things we should do to win the contest, like say the right thing at the right time, at the right place, to the right judges. So can you just share some example or shed some light on it?
Actually, what I was trying to convey when I said that is you can have the perfect speech. You should have won, but you're not going to win. And that doesn't mean your speech was bad or you were bad. That doesn't mean any of that. The thing is, you can have the perfect speech, you can have the winning speech. But if everything doesn't hit perfectly, you're not going to win. And that's okay. Go back, reinvent yourself, write a better speech, do it better, and you will eventually become so good that they can't ignore you. You will win. It might take you 11 years. I hope not. But that's just it. There is no winning formula. You can listen to all these past winners and they're going to say you have to do this and this and this. I can tell you these are the 18 steps to write a perfect speech, and you're going to write the speech and you're going to present it perfectly, and you're still not going to win. So there is no magic formula. I hate to say that, but the formula is keep trying. Keep trying. That's it.
Got it. Thank you
Good luck.
so much. Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you, Ria. DTM Rabin.
Hello, greetings from India. So, I think it may sound like a very rookie question, but what is the technique to convert a simple story into an inspiring one?
Oh no, that's not a rookie one. That's a master question. If it was a rookie question, I'd have the answer right away. What is the technique? I believe, and this again is just my opinion, but I believe that again, you're going to need to share feelings and emotions with the audience that you probably never would have wanted to share. You're going to have to allow the audience to see you as a person. You have to be vulnerable. And it's very hard to do that because it's almost as if you are admitting that you're not perfect. And we all want to be perfect, but we're not. We know we're not, but then to let everybody else know that we're not. Like I said, there were so many things in my speech where I really didn't want people to know these things about me, but I know I'm not the only one feeling that way. So I think that the magic sauce or the special sauce is being vulnerable, sharing experiences in your life that you never thought you would share with anybody, being authentic, being raw. It's just, there's so many different aspects to that. And again, you might do that, and guess what? You're still not going to win the contest. People are going to tell you your speech was terrible. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. That's a great question. Wow. Great question. Sorry if I didn't answer it, but I don't think there is an answer.
Okay, but I think it's a trial and error thing. But thank you for your help.
You're absolutely right. Yes. Trial and error. I like that. We're going to go with that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rabin. Toastmaster Kiran, please ask your question.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
I am Aditi. I am 13 years old, a Gavilia. So I just had one question, is that how do you practice vocal variety?
I'm sorry. How do you? Oh, vocal variety. Okay. So you're 13. What are you excited about? What kind of music do you listen to?
Cultural?
Who?
Cultural.
Classical.
Okay. Okay. So when you listen to that music, how do you feel? You feel excited? You feel great? You speak a little faster? Okay. That right there, that's almost part of vocal variety. But then what makes you sad? What makes you sad? And you don't have to tell me. Don't tell me. But when you stop and think about it, when you get sad, you don't have the vocal variety, the same variety of when you're thinking about the music you like to listen to. So that's how you practice vocal variety. It's taking your audience through a range of emotions. In my speeches, what I like to do is I try to do three things. I try to make you laugh, I try to make you cry, and I want to leave you with a message. So that right there gives you the ability to put in vocal variety. When you get excited about something, ask me about one of my dogs. Oh my gosh, I could go on and on about my dogs. But then ask me about how important my mother was and that she passed away. And that brings you to a different level of vocal variety. So try to have a range of emotions in your speech. Don't make it all sad or don't make it all happy. Put a little bit of something of everything, and that's how you get a vocal variety. I hope that answered your question. I'm so happy for you, so proud of you. Look at you. Oh my God. 13.
Thank
Woo!
you, ma'am.
You go. You go.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank
We'll
you.
take, two more questions. We'll take next question from our division director, DTM Usha Udashankar.
Good morning, Luisa. I'm
Good
speaking to you
morning.
from India, from Bangalore. I was there at the international convention and watched your semifinals and your final speech. And my very first question to you is, when you attempted at the semifinals, did you ever think at any given point that you would be in the finals? How much was your level of confidence at that time? And when you came to the finals, amongst the 8. In fact, for all of us sitting in the audience, all 8 of you were the best in the world. And did you ever feel that you would be there among the top 3 and the top 1 first? That's
So
my
for
question
this
to you.
great question. So for the semifinal, many of you may not know that the semifinal is when you use your best speech. Why? Because you want to make it to the finals. You're not going to give
Correct.
your second or third best speech. You want to make it to the finals. So sometimes when you're watching the finals, you might be thinking, well, I mean, that speech was okay, but it wasn't great. No, it's not great because the speaker already used their best speech at the semifinal.
Correct.
I absolutely loved my semifinal speech, and I would
Yes.
have loved to have used it for my finals, but I wanted to guarantee I was going to make it to the finals. So that semifinal speech, I knew it was going to get me far. I just didn't know it would make it all the way to the finals. When I
Absolutely.
gave my finals speech, that I can recall, I made 2 mistakes. I left 2 parts of the speech out. So as I was leaving the stage, I was telling myself, you're going to have to come back next year, Luisa, because that speech that you just gave is not going to win. And when they called third place Angelique, second place Hannah, I was actually on the phone with my best friend and my cousin, and we were FaceTiming. I said, hey guys, I guess I'm coming back next year because I'm not winning this. And then they said, Luisa Montalvo, and I went, wait, what? I mean, again, I'm disagreeing with the judges. I had disagreed with
Yes.
them all these other times, but I disagreed with them that day, but I won first place. And I said, you know what? For all the times that I didn't win and I thought I should have won, I'm going to take this trophy.
And you just said something a few moments back. You got to have the right speech at the right time. You had all the right judges working for you the other day, on that day.
Finally,
Yes.
11 years later, finally, yes.
Hearty congratulations. Very, very
Thank you
nice.
so much.
Very
Thank you so much.
motivating. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, DTM Usha. Now I'll request Toastmaster Pushkar to ask his question.
So good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good evening.
Good, yeah. The way you quoted different parts of your experience, different phases, it was very, what do you say, a motivating experience for us. And my main question is that when you went to give the speech, what were the competitors like? I mean, did they make you feel nervous, or were they very TEDx professional speeches? I mean, when you went to for a contest, what type of speeches were delivered by your competitors? Were they very TEDx level speeches like that? They're very professional.
How did you feel about the competition?
So, yes, great question. And I want to be very honest, but I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Okay.
I did not think I was going to win, but I will tell you this. I had not competed since 2019. So when I went to the semifinals and saw the speeches, I remember asking some friends of mine, when did everybody get so good? I mean, they were very good. The semifinals, amazing, amazing speeches. And the competition, I feel, will always be there. I have never walked into a contest and thought, I got this, no problem. Never. Because I've been surprised at area, I've been surprised at division. So the level of competition is always there. Never take it for granted that you're going to be the best one, because somebody's going to come along and probably give you a ride for your money. But this year, I thought the level of competition was very good at the semifinals. I don't really remember watching too many of the finals because I was still beating myself up that I had probably given the worst speech I'd ever given. and trying to think of what I was going to speak about next year. But yes, it's always shocking to see the level of competitiveness. And this last year, 2024, it was high. It was very high. I'm honored and I'm shocked to be here speaking to you, winning first place. Great question. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I joined just last week.
What? Really?
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you. Good luck. Good luck. I'm here to
Yes.
help you in any way you need help, okay?
Sure, ma'am. Tomorrow is my icebreaker speech.
Good luck.
Okay, we'll take one last question by Rohini. Yes, Rohini, please unmute yourself.
Hi, Luisa. My question
Hello.
is, hello. My question is like, for every contest, should we need to give the same speech by refining it, or we should give it different speeches, like after area or after district, we may give a different speech like that. Will it go, or it should be the same speech? I have seen people giving same speech at club and area level, but it's all refined. I have seen them refine the speech after when they go to area or division level. But what happens after that, I'm not sure. So even different speeches I have seen, like they have given different speech at club area, I have seen. But what do you do normally? Like, what will be the best thing to do?
I feel that that's a great question, and you can disagree. And I want to tell everybody this: what I say is what I say. You can disagree. You can say, Luisa, she doesn't know what she's talking about, and I'm okay with that. I'm just giving you my opinion. However, when it comes to should you give the same speech, I say yes. Why? You've already practiced it in front of an audience. You're getting better at it. You're getting comfortable with it. You know what's going to work and what's not going to work. If you go and use a whole new different speech, you're going to get a whole bunch of new different reactions and you don't know what to expect. So if you use the same speech at club and then you make it out of club and you go to area, well, that tells you something. The speech is working for you and you're getting used to it. So from area, you go to division. If you make it from out of division, I mean, that's obviously a good speech. Now, improve it, maybe tweak it a little, not too much, because you want to be comfortable with the speech. So when you get on the stage, you said, you know what? I've done this before. I know where they're going to laugh. I know where they're going to cry. I know where they're going to applaud. You get comfortable with it, and that's going to show when you present. My recommendation, use the same speech, maybe make it a little better, tweak it if you need to, and perfect it, and take it as far as you can. That is my recommendation. You want to change it? Of course, here I am. That first day, that day that I was going to compete, I wanted to change my whole speech. So I don't know. Maybe don't listen to me. I have no idea. Do what you feel is right. I say keep the same speech.
Thank you.
Oh, you're
Sushil, you are
muted.
on mute.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, now I'll request our district training manager, DTM Yuaswan, to collect the feedback for the session and present vote of thanks.
Yes. So firstly, hello, world champion. This is you are the third world champion that I'm speaking to after Aaron and Mohammad Katani. So quite a pleasure talking to you. One way I really relate to you, just 1 second.
Meanwhile, please provide feedback.
Yeah. So I was saying that one way I relate to you is that the first time I joined in 2019. So that was the first time I saw you, and that time you placed second. And coincidentally for me as well, every time that I compete, I come second. So the first time I competed at club, I was second. The first time I competed at area, I was second. The first time at division, I came second. And last year for table topics again at district, I was second. So I am still waiting for that first place, and hopefully the next time I reach. So this year I'll be contesting in evaluation. So impromptu speaking is more of my forte as compared to yours, which is prepared speeches as well. So got quite a lot to learn from you and related with you as well. That after 11 years, you finally did it. Hopefully, this year might be the lucky year for me. But thank you so much for taking time out and guiding all of us regarding your session. Unfortunately, I had a few commitments, so I could not fully grasp it, but I definitely plan to go back and listen to the recordings. And I do have your email ID, which is posted in the chat, so I'll definitely come back to you with a few questions, preparing for our international speech contest, which will be happening soon, club level onwards. So that is also a sign for all of you who are there in the chat and listening. Start preparing for your speeches and implement the feedback or suggestions that Luisa has given to us. Along with that, for today's session, we have posted a link in the chat. So it is an anonymous thing as well. You can post your name if you want. The only thing that we will require is your area and division. So we will understand how many people have given the feedback. But other than that, be honest about the feedback. Even the world champion has still scope to improve even further. And we wish her as well the best. And we hope to keep on listening from her over and over. Hopefully, sometime in person as well. Although she would be traveling quite a lot this year, considering that she's the champion now. But really, thank you so much for taking time out on a Friday for you and guiding us regarding this session. So, thank you so much. And hopefully, I'll be the one speaking in front of you on the international stage someday. So,
There you
thank you
go.
so
Good luck.
much. And
Thank you so much. And I will be there in India. I believe, middle of May. So I'm looking forward to
okay,
that.
okay, wonderful. Great. So, hopefully, I'll be able to catch you. I'll be able to catch you somewhere. Yes. So thank you so much. And Sushil, do you want to conclude with any final words or can we close the call?
No, I think we covered all topics. And
Yes, yes.
again,
May I make one request,
Master
please?
Louis for
Yeah.
joining and thank you for yes, please.
Yes. Is there any way I could get a copy of what was written on the chat? Because sometimes I will get direct messages and I can't check the chat. Wow, that's hard to say. Check the chat while I'm speaking. So if you could get me a copy of all the questions and comments on the chat, I would really appreciate it.
Sure,
Yeah,
we
I can
can.
do that.
I know you probably got one
Explore
really
that.
good tech savvy guy that can do that. I don't know how to do it.
Yes, yes. So we'll try to compile the questions and mail it to you. And along with that, whatever feedback we have received for the session, that also will pass it on to you.
Very
So
good. Thank you so
I
much.
think that should be possible. Yes. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Thank you so much, Louisa. And everyone, all the best for your own contests. Hopefully, I'll see you somewhere at the district level. Cheers.
Very
Good night.
good. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Louisa.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much,
Thank you,
Luisa.
Luisa.
Thank you,
Great
everyone.
alerts.
Oh, good night. Good night.
Good day.